Now, Michael admits he's never been a perfect pupil, but now he and his dad are at war with his private school over his behaviour. So who's in the right? You be the judge.
If you're going to chastise my child for not following the rules, then you had better be following the rules.
I'm not going to be held down like that. I can't do it.
Michael might look neat and smart in his private school uniform, but deep down it simply doesn't fit. The Year 9 student has been suspended 7 times in recent years, and now he's on the verge of being expelled. His father, John.
I just thought that the 2-week suspension for refusing to move seats with the threaten to be expelled is over the top.
Michael's Perth school's Serpentine Jarrahdale Grammar claims the teenager has been disruptive and argumentative in class. But Michael, who admits he's no angel, says that's where it ends.
I've never physically hurt anyone.
Have you ever sworn at a teacher?
No, I've never sworn at a teacher, no.
Clearly Michael has presented his school with some problems over the years, but nothing his family believes they can't overcome. And at times they've been juggling 2 jobs just to pay his school fees.
As a chef earning a chef's wage, it's more than I can afford, and it's a struggle. But we thought at the time we were doing the right thing, and it was worth it. After all the money that I've spent, you're going to expel my son for not moving a seat. I think that's over the top.
Private schools pride themselves on turning out, not churning out, good students. They believe they're shaping the future leaders. But some kids just don't fit the mould. And Serpentine Jarrahdale is trying to force Michael Halfhead to comply with a strict code of behaviour he doesn't believe he can live up to. In the days following Michael's latest suspension, he wrote this apology.
Dear Mrs. Rodriguez, it has been explained to me that disrupting the learning of others can be frustrating to both student, teacher and parent for varying reasons.
Michael says he's willing to smarten up during class.
I will strive to improve on my argumentative personality, and I will be happy to see the school counsellor to improve my attitude towards others.
But that wasn't good enough. His principal demanded he achieve certain goals, and Michael was told if he didn't, he'd be kicked out for good.
One little step over the line is going to be expelled. You're going to be gone, and there's no coming back.
Michael freely admits he's never been an A-grade student. Instead, this is where you're most likely to find him. As far away from the books as he can get, working in the yard with his dad. One day he hopes to learn a trade.
So if a child is not an A-grade student, do you think that perhaps they're wasting their money sending their child to a private school?
Unless you're a high-end achiever, I wouldn't recommend it. I just simply wouldn't recommend it. There's no point.
Independent schools have the right to make their own rules and regulations, but Ian Anderson from the WA Primary Principals Association says they still have a duty to accept all students, regardless of their interests and goals.
I believe that all schools have the same responsibility, or should have the same responsibility, in terms of managing students. And where students are not fitting in, all schools should take on the responsibility for changing that behaviour or supporting the student and the parents to bring about a change.
Ian believes private schools can in some instances unfairly treat students who don't fall within their strict framework.
At the end of the day, they do have ultimate power to be able to exclude if that's what they wish to do.
But Beth Blackwood from the Association of Heads of Independent Schools Australia believes they're well within their rights to make students comply with reasonable standards of behaviour.
I think a school functions well where there are clear expectations and there are rules that reinforce those expectations. It gives cohesion to the community.
For Michael and his dad, those rules prove private schools have too much power, and this father and son believe the system needs to change.
things have to be fair and not unjust. So there's a lot of unfair and unjust things that they've done at that school.
Well, Michael has since decided to attend the local public high school next year, and Serpentine Jarrahdale Grammar School said because they've closed for the year, there was no one available for comment.